Remember when we showed you some of the deadly threats of ancient Egypt? Yeah, turns out those were only the obvious ones. Today, we're taking you deeper into temples you were never meant to enter, festivals you were never meant to survive, and secrets you were never meant to hear. This is why you wouldn't survive 24 hours in ancient Egypt. And it's not what you think. And if you're enjoying these episodes on ancient Egypt, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. So, you arrive in Thebes sometime around the 12th century, BC. The sun's barely up when you walk toward Amun's temple at Karnak. Priests slip inside ahead of you. You follow them. But that's your first mistake. You see, temples weren't built for sightseeing. Each doorway led deeper into places fewer people could enter. The closer you got to the god, the more danger you invited. The inner rooms were private chambers, his pure place of enjoyment. One priest, centuries later, said he entered in fear and awe. So yes, even the professionals got nervous. You, on the other hand, are a mess. You haven't bathed, shaved, or fasted. Priests shaved every hair, washed in sacred pools and wore linen. They kept from intercourse and stayed away from fish. Rules like these were carved on temple walls long before your time. Purity was law. The sanctuary, called Wabt, or the pure place, was off limits to anyone unclean. Crossing that line risked angering the god himself. That counted as sacrilege. And sacrilege in Amun's house was a death sentence. So, yes, by sunrise, curiosity alone could get you killed. Then you back away from the temple, thinking the street's safer. But it isn't. In Thebes, gods didn't stay indoors. During festivals, they rode out in shrines carried on poles. Stone carvings show priests carrying them through shouting crowds. People called out questions. Priests tilted the shrine to answer like a holy nod. One big celebration, the beautiful festival of the valley, sent Amun's bark across the Nile. He went from the living city to the land of the dead. Music played, incense burned, and everyone drank too much. At Karnak's Mot precinct, archaeologists found beer jars and sleeping spots. That was from the festival of drunkenness. It honored Hathor, Mut, or Sekhmet. The goal was to drink until you dropped. So imagine hundreds of drunk people yelling while priests struggled under gold-covered shrines. You, the foreigner, on the other hand, wouldn't know when to move or keep quiet. If you blocked the path or brushed the shrine, you'd insult the god. Even throwing up in the wrong spot could get you punched. The festival praised joy but kept order. Hymns said the god was watching, and the crowd made sure of it. So by mid-morning, one bad step could end with a beating, and Thebes would keep on dancing, drunk and holy. But then you leave Thebes and head east, thinking hard labor beats temple law. But it doesn't. So you march into the eastern desert along the road to Wadi Hammamat. It's a dry valley extending 200 kilometers from the Nile to the Red Sea. Quarries and gold veins line the route. Carvings on the rocks tell of expeditions that passed here for centuries. One stela from Mentuhotep III's time brags about transporting a single block of pure stone. It also calls the god Min, Lord of the Foreign Lands, and Chief of the Troglodytes. That means local desert tribes didn't exactly wave travelers through. So yes, the place was dangerous long before you showed up. And by the time of Rameses IV, things got worse. One stela says 8,368 men went out. Soldiers, workers, priests, the lot. 900 died and didn't even make the list. That's a death rate you can feel in the sand. Teams dragged massive stone blocks 60 miles back to the Nile. The texts call it a success. But they don't mention the heat, thirst, raids, or crushed men under stone. The monuments brag, the dead stay quiet. Next, you decide to join the pharaoh's navy, and you find yourself at a port somewhere near the Red Sea. A 10% death rate is starting to sound normal. You reach Mersa, the old harbor at Wadi Gawasis. It dates back to the Middle Kingdom. Archaeologists found caves packed with ship parts, planks, oars, anchors, and rope. Old papyri still list supplies for voyages to Punt. Most of the wood came from cedar, bored through by shipworms. Those holes tell the story of ships spending months out in open salt water. So you decided to climb aboard one. Egyptian texts already told this story once. In the tale of the shipwrecked sailor, a royal crew of 120 heads to sea. But then a storm hits. Waves rise 8 cubits high. The ship breaks apart. Everyone dies except one. Now, some say it's fiction, but the numbers, the sea route, and the wreck, they all match the finds at Gawasis. The warning stands. One gust can take you under. No one comes to help. But on the other hand, if you survive, you bring back incense, ebony, and ivory packed in boxes marked "Wonderful Things of Punt." And like I said, if you don't, you perish, just like everyone else in the story. So now, let's say you survive the shipwreck. The state decides you're useful, which is its own kind of death sentence. They decide to send you to the workshops. On Elephantine Island, workers once made arsenic bronze. That started around 2000 BC and ran for centuries. Tests on slag show they mixed copper with arsenic-rich ore on purpose. The waste still holds arsenic, iron, and lead. No text admits it, but the chemistry gives them away. The furnaces were small, and the air was dense with smog. Every breath pulled poison into the lungs. Arsenic fumes wrecked nerves, rotted tissue, and sometimes stopped hearts. The work was quiet and deadly. No one wrote about it because no one needed to. Everyone knew. In the Sinai and Eastern Desert, copper and turquoise mines did the same. At Wadi al-Nazb and Serabit el-Kadim, the smelters burned open to the wind. But it wasn't enough. You could taste the metal long before you saw the smoke. And pigment shops were just as bad. To make Egyptian blue, workers heated sand, lime, and copper until it fused. Then they ground it into dust, breathing what they made. Copper vapor, glass grit, alkali in the throat, regular work for trained hands. So in the end, you escaped drowning only to choke on the job. And the worst part is, no one screams or collapses right away. The lungs give out first, and the pay never comes soon enough. But now, let's say you leave the fumes behind and head north toward Memphis and Saqqara. The air's cleaner there, but the danger's louder, much louder. By now, Egypt runs on animal worship. Priests breed, kill, and bury sacred beasts for the gods. Saqqara's tunnels hold millions of mummified cats, dogs, ibises, and bulls. Each one was an offering. Each one meant money. The Apis bull was Ptah himself, buried in a stone box the size of a boat. Cats were Bastet's flesh and fur. Killing one was a sin worse than theft or murder. Diodorus Siculus, a Greek who saw it, wrote that even a mistake could get you killed. For instance, one man killed a cat by accident. As a result, the crowd tore him apart, Roman name and all. Law didn't matter when the god's pet was dead. Dig sites prove the devotion was real. Priests sold animal mummies by the thousands, wrapped full bodies or scraps. After all, faith had a price tag and business was good. So now, picture sunset. You stumble outside Bastet's temple and trip on a cat. It dies. There's no trial. And the crowd rushes in. And that's how fast piety turns to fury. And there you have it. From sunrise to night, you moved through a world ruled by rules, fear, and danger. Your first mistake was walking into the temple. Then came the festival. Then you ran east to the desert and found work in the quarries. And farther east, you reached the Red Sea. But then you tried safer work in a workshop, and it wasn't safer. And by nightfall, you'd reached the age of animal gods. Every danger was different. Some holy, some human, some chemical. All were fast. The records don't tell the whole truth. Temples showed joy, not panic. Quarry stones say all went well, and then list the dead. The shipwrecked sailor calls itself fiction, but gives real numbers. Even court records like the Papyrus of Turin hide guilt in polite words. What we read, however, is what they allowed us to see. We see calm, not cost. You wouldn't last a day there. You'd break a rule, breathe poison, or insult a god. The past looks ordered, but it was vicious. And as for the real losses, they are still buried.